And we're back with Final Fantasy XVI, Rising Tide DLC. So last we left off, we just got our sick new Leviathan powers, and we're going to go back to the Witten Hall to get the rest of the tale that that this woman right here in front of Clive was holding out on us. But first we have some housekeeping to take care of, that being checking all this shit out and, you know, changing up my iconic abilities. Is this? Okay, so Cold Snap, good. So what does this change it to? Okay, it does nothing. It probably just increases damage. Create twin waves that rush inward, dragging smaller creatures to a central point before Clive. Cool. Launch a long-ranged, rapid-fire salvo of water that is capable of severely knocking back smaller enemies. Okay, so a lot of this seems to be very knockback heavy. Right? Oh my god, it does a lot of stun damage though. Yeah, a lot of it is very knockback heavy rather than damage or stun. Well, except for this one. This one does a lot of stun damage. Rip openly Jesus Christ. Rip open a slowly expanding gateway to the murky depths of the sea, and when the timing is right, summon forth an abyssal storm that hones in on nearby enemies. Ah. So it's like the little thing that that the little kid did. I forget his name already. Well, yes, that's his name. Conjure a whirling wave of titanic proportions. Those spaces are fucking me up. Conjure a walling wave of titanic proportions to swallow up and spit out all enemies caught in the surf. Alright. Give some of these a shot. And I'm going to quickly make... I'm probably going to cut this bit out, but I'm going to make a new iconic ability set with Leviathan in mind. With that, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, and I'm back. So I decided to sort of stick with the same deal that I had with this one, but I swapped out Ignition for Deluge because it feels sort of similar. Granted, Deluge is just standing still while Ignition just moves around. I kept the Lightning Rod and Mega ability like over here with Giga Flare, but I wanted to try with Tsunami, see how that feels, and I put Leviathan's abilities here. And I also wanted to spice things up and use Heat Wave, because I feel like there's going to be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Projectiles in the coming fights, especially if we're fighting someone to do with Leviathan or Walius, because he was using a lot of just shooting stuff. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But worst comes to worst, we just swap back to the other one, and if I don't like it, yeah, let's hear the rest of Leviathan's story. I'm sure she'd interested to know what it'll be.
To understand the spell which binds Walius, you must first know who we are, and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity. This tapestry is our story, the one that brought us here.
They
After
look like
generations of wandering,
Imperials.
my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago.
No, Final Fantasy
But
Prelude.
in exchange for our
Oh, yeah.
safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith and branded us heretics when we could not.
Yeah, so
To be
that is
exterminated.
Sembrak.
As a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the imperial histories, for anything less would have made the Church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend, revealing how to make your very own Mother Crystal.
Ah.
That's impossible.
No, it isn't.
As
We
they
saw it
were
in
soon
Rising
to
Tide in
discover. Aye,
Echoes of the Fallen. They made their own
far
mother
too
crystal.
late. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant. Well, yes.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his icon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything, had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that?
Which is fucking
The
baller.
Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her
That'll
body
be the
had been
ruins.
consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's Eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place
No,
to
she's
live out the few
petrified.
days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with
Interesting.
both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new mother crystal and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child.
Yep.
A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the mother crystals. So we know the seal source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the dome of light on top of the cliffs to the west?
Hell yeah, that's one of the best
Inside
visuals in the
lie the
game.
ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Vare, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, there are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. And should even one make its way here, I doubt the walls could hold it back for long.
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will see your people safe, tributary.
You have my thanks.
Very well. We should depart at once. I fear time may no longer be a luxury we can afford.
Yeah, because they can't make a mother crystal without essentially having something to lord over it. Like the Omega in Echoes of the Fallen was
The Vare
essentially
is
the
not
warden
easy to
of
find.
that mother crystal. So it could essentially have it rest inside it and draw upon its power. But all the other mother crystals had an Ultima inside it. And if they wanted to make one, what would have more ether and power than a dominant? So they would have probably had to put Wallius inside the mother crystal to get it to work, which is kind of fucked. Just saying.
We must first head north and then west, deeper
Ooh,
into the
side
forest.
quest.
No sign of the child.
You don't think this?
He ain't
Reckon
dead,
my
don't worry.
steel's just as good as any.
Height Strike Reforged.
I'd like to see another smith do better.
Well, I wish I could see how it looked. Oh, that looks cool. Too bad I have this fucking thing on my back.
Just try to breathe. That's it.
Is everything all right?
Ah, you're the outsider. I'm Fannet, healer by trade. And this is Talor, one of my patients. He took ill not long after you arrived.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
I hope so too, but
But
this affliction, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. He complains of feeling chilled to the bone, but there's no fever to go with it. And my most powerful antalgic hasn't done a thing to ease the pain in his chest. I'm starting to wonder if his condition might require a different kind of treatment altogether. Shula
Go
said
see
that
Medicine
you were here to
Girl.
help us. You couldn't help me.
She's got calmatives,
could ya?
curatives, restoratives, unguents, ointments, and pulsatives.
I'd be happy to. If I can.
You can, don't worry. All I need you to do is speak to Talor's son, Pavat, over at the forge, and ask if he knows what his father was up to before he came down sick.
He was
Something
praying.
must have caused this, and I want to find out what. The trouble is, Talor's too weak to speak, and I can't leave his side for long. So while you talk to Pavat, I'll pay his wife word a quick visit, just in case she knows anything.
All right.
I can't leave his side, so I'm gonna leave his side to go and talk to somebody. Sounds fair enough. Okay.
Oh, do you need something?
I do. Though not from the forge. Fannet asked me to speak with you. She's looking into the cause of your father's illness and wondered if you could shed any light on the matter.
I see. Sorry. She shouldn't have dragged you into this.
Yeah,
no
welcome
trouble,
to
really.
your entire village. They have
me,
all done it by this
Did
point.
your father do anything out of the ordinary before he fell ill?
Not that I know of. But then I hardly see him. He's always out and about, like. Well, at least he was. Suppose he might have been a bit more fidgety than usual, but apart from that,
When you say out and about, where does he usually go?
just round the village. Wanders over to Blazia's place most days. He's a fisher who lives on the other side of the fount. They're old friends. Maybe he knows something I don't.
Maybe. I'll go and speak with him.
Hell yeah.
No sign of the child.
Except we're gonna do it in a minute because I'm gonna go change my weapon skin just back to default. So I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. Once again with my cat on my lap. He just jumped up again. Also, just changed it back. This sword looks so fucking cool. It's very simple and kind of reminds. Get out of the way. It reminds me of Stormcry. I was talking to the guy, not the cat. It just looks really nice. Like the blue sheen. I guess it's aqua. That's cool. I like that. Where's this person? Over here. Okay. Although the only problem is I'm pretty sure it's worse than what I already had. Because what I have is, yeah, the best weapon in the game is not as good. So it's not as good as the best weapon in the game.
This will
Oh well.
guide thy bounty unto our reach. Greetings, stranger.
Oop.
What
Sorry,
can I
mate.
do for you?
Cat is
Your
bumping
name
into
is
the
Blazier,
mic.
is it not? Pavad tells
Right.
me you're a friend of his father's,
Stop.
and that the two of you may have spent some time together prior to his illness.
Any cat owners will know the struggle of what I'm dealing with. I should have closed my door.
I don't know why he'd start now.
Oh, Fanny doesn't know either. It was she who asked me to look into his recent behavior on the off chance it might explain how his condition arose.
Oh, I suppose there was something that struck me as a bit odd. He kept asking about the woods. Did you see anything strange on your way back from the shore? Are you certain? Do you swear? That kind of thing. I didn't, of course. But he wouldn't let it go. It was like he was expecting something to happen. It was just a matter of when. Not that I know what. But he never told me anyway.
Well, that certainly does sound unusual. And it might just be what Fanet is looking for. Thank you.
Don't mention it. Oh, and when you say Talor, wish him the best from me, eh?
Let's see what the healer makes of this.
Almost.
I love these people's accent. It's fun. I probably won't do like that side quest. Because it doesn't do anything. It's just XP and or gil. Which I don't really need. If I do them, I'll probably just do them in my spare time. My own time. Between episodes.
I spoke with Werder, but she couldn't tell me anything. Did you have any better luck?
Nothing conclusive. But there was one thing. Lazir, the fisherman, told me that Talor had taken a sudden interest in the forest of late. He kept asking him if he'd seen anything unusual there on his way back from the coast, but never let on what exactly he was expecting him to have seen.
The forest between here and the coast. Surely not. But then...
Care to fill us in?
But then...
I can't say for sure. But I think Talor's illness might have some connection to the Tomberries. You've encountered them during your time here? The small, scaly beastmen?
Yeah, they look fucking cool.
Talor's illness?
I do. At least in a way, and if I'm right, it's no wonder the treatments I've been trying didn't work. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask, but would you go down into Father's Fell for me? There's an altar there, and if my fears are true, an offering upon it.
What is going on here?
Please, I'll explain everything when you return, but time flows fast. I beg you, make haste for Father's Fell and take the offering from the altar. Talor's life may depend on it.
What's happening? Okay.
Bastard things. Oh, I never should have let him go alone.
Yeah, that sucks to be you. Yeah, so I'm going to finish up this quest, and then we'll continue onward towards the rest of the DLC. We'll continue with the story, that's what I'm trying to say. Because there's not much
Before we
point in
turned
doing
east
ones
at
that
the
don't give me
shipwrecks to
anything.
reach the coast. Now we must head in the opposite direction.
Left it is then.
Left is the direction I was already going to go. Also, I just realized, Leviathan's new powers will become really helpful against flying enemies. Because I can actually hit them from a distance and not just have to shoot fire at them constantly.
One thing I know about beastmen is that they love to hide in the dark.
Makes sense. Oh, hey look, there's a bunch of them. They got tails. I didn't notice that before.
What are they up to? Some sort of ritual.
It's so goofy looking.
Sorry to disturb you.
And hell yeah. Oh, I want to. Okay, that didn't do what I thought it would. Oh no, it actually does. Never mind. Doesn't last as long, but I think it does more damage. I just want to use all my iconic abilities because they're cool. Jesus Christ. I forget that that's primarily just for stun, not for damage. Hey, that was easy.
Let's see what's on this altar then.
A necklace.
A silver chain. I doubt the Tombury's made it. This must be what Fennec was talking about.
This new thing where you can just teleport straight back to the person that needs to the quest giver is so helpful.
You're back. Well, did you find anything?
Yes.
I did. This silver chain.
I knew it.
Well, I'm still none the wiser.
Forgive me. This chain. It's a Gregorian Maternoster.
Worn by men of the faith. What's it doing here? And why would the Tomburys be praying to it?
To understand that, you need to understand what the Tomburys are. They feed on hatred and suffering. And some say that if you render them an offering, some token of grievance against your fellow man, they will put a curse upon him.
So you think someone's put a Tombury curse on Talor?
Interesting.
I can't say for sure. Truth be told, I always assumed it was an old wives' tale. But given his fear of the forest and the presence of the chain on the altar, I don't know what else to think.
Does Talor have any enemies in the village? Anyone who would nurse such a grudge?
No, I believe the one who left the chain at the altar was Talor himself.
I beg your pardon?
But there's more to the tale, you see. It's said that if you attempt to curse a soul that has returned to the sea already, your aire has nowhere to go but back to its source.
You're saying he cursed himself?
By accident.
In trying to curse another, aye.
When my father was younger, he was one of the few permitted to venture beyond the wall on trading expeditions. He told us that when he journeyed to Sanbreque, he'd wear that chain to disguise his true beliefs, lest Griega's faithful turn their cudgels on him.
Did they ever catch him in his deception? Might that explain the ill will he bears someone?
Not that he ever told me.
Come now, let's not waste time speculating about Talor's past. We need to focus on the present, and that means finding a way to break the curse.
All right. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
Thank you. I shall.
Aye, and thanks for going to all this trouble. Here, it's not much, but I want you to have this. We call it an adder stone. It's a gatherer's charm. Reacts to certain rare minerals we use in crafting. Makes them ring out like a bell. Stuff you'd have no chance of spotting otherwise.
Interesting.
If you find anything, see that you bring it back to me. I can make you some decent gear with it. If you're interested, like.
I am, thank you. And I'll be sure to pay you a visit. Until then, I wish your father a swift recovery.
Nice. What ails ya? Serpent ring design draft. Add a stone. Serpent ring recipes unlocked. I don't know what serpent rings are, but sure. Oh, here we go. Serpent rings. You've obtained designed serpent rings accessories when equipped enhance the Leviathan iconic abilities. Okay. Wait, what? Please note that crafting an item requires several materials only found at mysidia, such as aquamarine. Aha! Aquamarine is hidden throughout mysidia, so be sure to check every corner of the region. Please note that some aquamarine's location differ between action, story-focused modes, and Final Fantasy mode. Okay. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to use them. I don't like these amulets. I just think they're bad.
Till next time, then.
So I probably won't bother actively hunting for them, but if I come across aquamarine, I will pick it up. You know, it makes my life easier.
I never should have let him go alone.
I do wonder what the level cap is raised to though, because I believe because I was about to say I believe when the DLC came out, it was up to 105, but it was always 105 in Final Fantasy mode. So I wonder if it was. Oh wait, I got a ping. I felt a rumble in my controller over this way. Ugh. Die. Ow! Fuck off! There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I felt a distant, faint rumble in the right side of my controller. Okay, I just want to take a moment and say, I love the DualSense controller. I think it is the best game controller ever, a console controller ever. Because not only is it a nice, comfortable design like the Xbox controller, it's pretty much the same shape, barring the thumbsticks. Those are still your traditional PlayStation positions, but combining the gimmicks from the DualShock 4 with the speaker and the touchpad, they also have the adaptive triggers and the should have done that, and the I don't know what it's called, but the vibration in the controller is so good and so well done. Every game that I've played that has DualSense support feels so good because it interacts with the controller. Like in Ghost of Tsushima, when you use the guiding wind ability, you can feel the direction of the wind in the controller as well as see it visually. It's that extra bit of feedback that enhances the immersion. I love it. I think it's incredible. I really hope this sort of technology continues and Sony doesn't fuck the rest of the industry by putting a patent on it or something, because I think it is absolutely outstanding. Like, say what you will about Sony and their consoles and exclusivity and whatever, the controllers have always been really good in terms of new, interesting proprietary tech. Like, in the PS4 that released in 2014, had this brand new feature that had never been seen before called a touchpad and speakers. Who the fuck puts a touchpad and speakers on a controller? And guess what? It worked. It just worked. Like, I don't understand how they did it, but nobody else has done anything remotely interesting with their controllers.
Most of it hungry.
Actually, that's not true.
why we
The
make
Switch
sure
was
this
pretty
place
interesting with
stays
its
shut.
controllers.
And why you carry that impressive-looking axe, I presume.
Impressive is a surely a word.
Noticed her, have you?
How could you not? It's the main thing to look at when you're looking at you. Anyway, yeah, so the Switch does have interesting controls, but an interesting controller in the fact that you can take it off the dock and use it either just single Joy-Cons, or you can use it with just one Joy-Con, or put them together in a sad dog to make a pseudo controller, and so on.
The temple is up
But
there.
nobody's advanced
Don't
the
worry.
technology
Those
in the
cliffs aren't the
controller.
only
It's always
way
just
to
been
the
the
top.
same thing, just innovating on the design of it, the ergonomics, which, let's be frank, who the fuck cares about ergonomics of a controller? Yeah, well, I shouldn't say that, because there are some people that have difficulties using controllers, whether it be disabilities and so on. I think it's fantastic.
I needed that.
There it is. Once again, I could tell it was here because I could feel it in my controller. I could feel it much sooner than I could hear it.
Time to fight.
This thing has such a quick cooldown. It's so good for getting the heat off you. Man, I didn't realize how good Heat Wave actually was. I've been sleeping on it. As simple as the combat is, and as Devil May Cry-esque as it is, it's a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of people that just say, it's just mashing square.
Are these the ruins?
Yeah, a lot of games just mashing one button until you
far as we
win.
can
Dark
tell,
Souls is
they're
just
part of the
mashing
same
R1 and
complex as the temple
circle until
itself.
you win.
To think of
But
all
it's the actual
people
little
I must
nuances
once
in
have
the
lived here.
layout of the iconic feats, and like stringing them together in a way that's strategic, and the movement of like the Phoenix shift and the dodge, as well as knowing when to use your magic and charge certain abilities. Like, it all flows together really nicely. That's what makes the combat good. It's not good because it's deep and complex, like quarter circle, half turn, then you jump and then use triangle square ability to do this really awesome attack, like you see in most fighting games. That just becomes needlessly complicated and puts a high barrier to entry to anybody that wants to play it. That's personally why I hate fighting games, because the barrier to entry is so high because of the insane combos you have to know to be good. Like, while Final Fantasy 16 is good because you can, in terms of strategy and control, because you can figure out your own strategy by making a build you like and then working around that. In fighting games, it's you get good by learning combos, and if you don't know those combos, you just perpetually suck. I hate that. That's my hot take on fighting games. Roast me in the comments below. I love fighting Charles. Just like I love fighting the behemoth at the end of the base game. Ow! What the fuck? I've never seen that attack before. Oh, I used that just in time. Oh my god, this thing is fucking me. Die. I'll use this just to buy myself some extra time. This. It's not the same amount of damage, but it's still pretty good. At least I can get all my iconic abilities off though. Hey, I nailed it this time. Oh shit, that's so many. Okay, I'm not there anymore. Hey, asshole. Shit. I love using the Berserker ring because I love the attack proficiency it gives you, which is such a strange term for what it actually is when it's just your limit break attacks. Like that's all the attack proficiency is. It's just your limit break. Yeah. Will you die already? Here. What's this? Perfect. Let's get this out. And who needs the final ability when I can just slap the shit out of him? Nice. I'm kind of tempted to put on the toggle ring because I never use toggle. Now, I know he's here and I can get him to do things, but I never use them because I just don't like using it. I have to take a finger off other buttons to use Toggle's abilities, and it just doesn't feel worth it because it's such a small yield for such a big risk. Like I have to completely take my fingers off somewhere else to be able to do it. Especially with the way I hold controller. Which is probably just standard, but it prevents that sort of stuff from me. Hello, little guy. Just my cat's jumped up again. I really need to close my door. He's probably going to start bumping my mic soon.
It's over.
We ain't going nowhere. Ah, I was going to do that on him. I'll tell you, little guy. Ooh, here's some stuff. Oh, he's got one of the stones in him. Hey, little guy. Ow. Just trying to dodge that, but failed. Can you stop rubbing your face on my mic? I'm sure the lovely people at home do not appreciate it. I'm sure they appreciate your adorableness, but I'm sure they do not like being assaulted in the ears. Do you have anything you'd like to say, little guy? I guess not, because he immediately moved away. No, 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 don't get on the desk. Okay, you can get out. Good boy. I'm absolutely going to put a picture of him up on screen during editing. He's too adorable not to. Oh yeah, there's a Leviathan ability I wanted to try but didn't. This. Ow! I couldn't move. I was stuck in animation. Oh, so close. There we go.
Yeah. Seems like it isn't only Haven's blacksmith that has an appetite for these things.
When did I use a stone skin tonic? Whatever.
These remind me of home.
You're from the north, then?
Yes.
Stalkers. Why not? Yeah, Jill's a strange case when it comes to her home. Jill's stories are just really sad. There we go. Nice. Alright, let's move onward. Another curl. Great. Well, I'm going to go back to my good one. My Zantetsuken still good? Okay, get it. I missed. I'm just gonna use this because I want to get it out of the way. I fucked it. Ow. Oh my god, I'm fucking this up royally. Good, okay. Fucking him up. Fucking him up. And now to this. So I can get more stuns. This should... Ah, I didn't get him all the way. Almost done, almost done, almost done, almost done. Come on! This is the problem with doing the hard mode. Is it's fucking hard. Well, it's not hard, it just becomes more difficult and I have to actually, you know, think about what I'm doing. Rather than just going ham. Going ham doesn't always work anymore. Yes. Yeah, let's do some of this one. Get some health back. Hell yeah. I didn't need to do that. Actually, that worked perfectly, because it got me out behind the blaster. This. I'm not going to use Zantetsuken, I'm going to save that for a boss. Okay, yeah, this curl is fucked. That's not a temple curl. Hell yeah, I wanted to finish with the flame blade. Quest destination nearby. Here we go.
Do you see that cave up ahead? Whoever lived here carved a flight of stairs into the stone within.
Away to the top.
And whatever it is that awaits us there.
And we'll find out what it was in the next episode. Oh, this is really good. I'm actually really enjoying the fights because they actually have some difficulty and some strategy into them. They're not just hack and slash and don't put your brain into it fights like you would in just normal action focused mode. But yeah, if you're enjoying this, please leave a like. I really hope people love this game as much as I do. But yeah, that'll be it for this episode. We'll see you in the next one.